I found out that my parents used to play that song back in the day. So that was like, okay, I really love that song. Maybe I love it because I heard it when I was 1, 2 years old.
Welcome to Message Reveal. Message Reveal identifies a vibe, a message, or a story told through lyrics of a song. And you guys, you know how I do. I have a special guest. And with my special guest, I always tell you just a few things of what my special guest is associated with. One, he's a family man. We love family mans. Number two, he's from Iowa, and we can't wait to find out his journey from Iowa to Vegas. And last but definitely not least, he is an entrepreneur, and we'll find out what he does. You guys, please put your hands together and welcome my special guest, Mr. Shane Hodges. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed. I'm happy to be here. It's a beautiful morning, and God woke me up for another day. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, I say this to all my guests. Thank you for taking the time to come onto my platform to sit with me. So I appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, for sure. It's been great already. So I'm excited.
Awesome. So let's just dial in and talk about you being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that energy come from? Because we know being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. So tell me your journey and what was your impetus to even get into what you do?
Yeah, entrepreneurship started when I was really young. Just wanting to provide a little more for myself outside of what my parents were doing for me. So, growing up in some rougher areas, I had different decisions that I had to make, different ways to be an entrepreneur. But throughout time, I was able to really clean up how I moved and, be more educated on how to provide in a smart way, in a safer way. And over time, I just got better and better. But it really flourished for me when I was in Minnesota. I was signed to a record label in Minnesota for 4 years, and while I was there, my manager, the head of our record label, he was an entrepreneur himself. So he really took me under his wing and showed me a lot of different ways to provide in a safe, smart way. To keep me out of trouble. To just be more educated in that realm of providing. I never see him go to work, but he was able to put us in positions to make money ourselves as artists. And he was always available for his family. So I always thought that was really cool that he had control of his time. So that always seemed to mean a lot to me when it came to how he was able to operate.
Nice. So what was that moment where you said, okay, I want to do what you're doing now? What was that exact moment? What encouraged you?
My oldest daughter. So we were about a year and a half ago. We wanted to get a candle making kit just for some family time. I was working a whole lot, doing a lot of different things outside of the home. So I wanted to make sure when I was in the home, I was having a good time, memorable moments. So I said, let's get a candle making kit. So that's something that I was wanting to do. It took a little while to actually order the kit, and then my wife, on January 1st of 2025, she ordered the candle making kit. Very intentional about wanting to get the business going and really see what it could do for us. So her taking that initiative on January 1st to order the candle making kit was a sign to me that, okay, let's take it serious. My partner really want to take it serious. My child wants to do this for fun at the time, but I knew in my heart that it could be something that was bigger than what just a candle making kit at home. So that's how I started. My daughter really encouraging to get a candle making kit for some family time.
I love that. I love that it was steeped in her wanting to spend some time with her dad. But
Yeah,
I need you to shout out your wife. Shout out your wife because
yeah,
she
yeah,
took
yeah,
care of business and moved that along. So
yeah,
shout her
yeah.
out. Give her name.
Yeah, yep. Shelby Hodges. She's actually the head of administrations for our business. So she's the one that books the interviews, that does the communication via text message, does a lot of the replying and comments and different things online on our page. So she's even though I'm the face of different things and you see me a lot, and I'm the voice of what goes on. I'm head of production, so we have our separate roles as well. I'm head of production. She's head of administrations. So she's big in that space, doing all the different behind the scenes work. So she's incredible. You don't see me out there with the candles unless she books me for opportunities. So it
Wow.
starts with her.
I love it. And thank you for acknowledging her. I think sometimes when we're forward facing, we may not always give the credit to those that have been in the background doing the things
Sure.
to make us look polished, to
Yeah.
support us and get us. So thank you. So we got to clap her
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. That's
I
my
love
baby.
that. I love that. So let's get into music. You already
Yeah.
said you were an artist. We already are going to talk about something you do with music surrounding your
Mhm.
candles. But
Yeah.
music has turned me all the way out in such a
Yeah.
wonderful way. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you can understand it regulates my emotions.
Hmm.
It hypes me up. It soothes me. It does all those things. And I'm pretty sure you maybe can feel that same way
For
about
sure.
music.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
With that being said, I have a question for you, sir, regarding
Hmm.
music.
Yeah.
Can you identify a song that has provided blessings, distractions, or lessons? Now, before you answer, it's a couple of rules to this, okay?
Okay.
If you can sing, I need you to sing your throat box out.
I haven't had this song in a little while, in a long time.
If you can rap, I need you to come hard in the paint. You know they do it. But
Hmm.
if you cannot do either or, I need you to talk about the lyrics. I need to be able to feel what you're talking about. You know when they say stand
Hmm.
in the streets, stand
Yeah.
10 toes down. I need to be able to feel it. Feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll go back to my original question. Can you provide a song that has either provided lessons, distractions, or blessings?
Yep, I got a song for you. So I Need You Now by Smokey Norfolk.
Mm,
And I can give you a backstory into the lyrics as well. So back when I was about 16, 17 years old, my mother used to use that song to teach me how to project my voice. So it was a good moment, a good song, and a good memory for me where my mom really took some time. My mom was a gospel singer. So she took a lot of time to really help develop my skills in the realm of singing, and it was a good moment for me. I remember being in the kitchen, just really trying to push it to pretty much shout and get it out, because I was very soft spoken, and it was a way to really increase the power in my voice. So, and even with the lyrics, "I Need You Now" was it's something that's imperative, is every day that the Lord is someone is what we need every single day, from waking up to different struggles to my blessings to everything that I have going on. I'm grateful for the Lord, being in His grace and His mercy through all things. So it's something that's every day. I need you now, Lord. So that's a great song for me.
I love that. I'm gonna try to poke a little bit. Can we get a little bit of song out of you, or is it too early in the morning?
It is pretty early, but yeah, like I said, I don't want to embarrass myself too much. I haven't sung in a little while, so um, but we'll see where it goes throughout the interview.
There
We'll
you
see.
go. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, you gave us some background story on why you chose that, and I
yeah,
totally understand that. So just because you mention it, let's give mom some credit. You said she's a
yeah,
gospel singer. Um,
yeah,
can you mention a little bit about who she is and tell
yeah.
us her name?
Yep, yeah, Wilma Jackson. So, growing up, it's a video on YouTube where she's directing the choir when she was really young, and she's actually pregnant with me back in, I want to say 90, 92, 91, around that era. So, she was pregnant with me, directing the choir, and she's always, some of my earliest memories are being with her on the road. She would be with the church on the church bus, and we'll be in Minnesota, we'll be in Chicago, we'll go down to Memphis, just a few cities that I remember traveling to. So she was always involved in the church, always had a big role as the director of the choir. Pretty much in my eyes was the lead singer. so she's always been important to the music side of me for sure. And I used to see her in the kitchen, every week studying her lyrics for her, for singing for her whatever her song was that week. She had several different songs that she would sing for the church. She would bless the church, and like I said, we took it on the road as well, and I was able to be there and have early memories with moms of just singing for the Lord.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I'm gonna ask the dynamic. Are you the only child or you have siblings?
Yes, I have siblings. I'm the youngest child.
Oh, so you was the
Yeah,
baby baby.
yeah, baby, yeah,
So no wonder you was close to mom.
yeah, yeah,
So let me I remember mentioning at the very beginning that you're from Iowa,
yeah,
correct?
yeah. Waterloo.
Tell me this, is it a generational thing or your family just happened to move there? And how did you transition to Las Vegas?
Yeah, so my grandmothers are from Mississippi. So it was at some point back in the day, well before my time, it was a migration north towards the Chicago, Iowa, Minnesota area. And my family settled in Waterloo. It was a railroad track that was a big job there. And, back in those times, you move for a good opportunity to provide for your family. So, whether that was my great grandfathers or great grandmothers at that time, they made the decision to move north to Iowa. So that's how we got there. And then how I ended up moving around myself was Waterloo is a smaller city. It is a predominantly African American city, the area that I grew up in. So I was
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I was able to be around the culture in a strong way. That's why the culture means a lot to me. But during that time period, I graduated high school. I played college basketball, and I was able to leave home for a little bit. I came back home and I put out a mixtape, and I was discovered by a record label in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So when I was 21, I moved to Minnesota, and while I was there, I was living in the Twin Cities area, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and I was able to be exposed to more opportunities, more things, entrepreneurship, along with doing music. And in the midst of doing music, I traveled a lot. I was on tour. I went overseas, did tours overseas, in Amsterdam, and I was in Germany. So I had a time while I was doing that for sure. And then when I came to a point where I wanted to get closer with the Lord, and I wanted to, really transition myself into more of a more involved father, other than being gone as much as I was, committed more to my girlfriend at the time, now is my wife. So I had to make a decision on, where I wanted to be in my life. So about 2019, when I was about 26 years old, we made the decision to move west. We was going to go to LA. We was in LA for about a week trying to find a home, get a feel for the environment, decided that it wasn't for us. So we came to Las Vegas, for because we was supposed to be there for 2 weeks. So we said, let's go to Vegas for this last week and just kind of regroup, just go back to the drawing board and figure out what we're going to do. And while we were here, we decided and kind of felt comfortable. We felt like this was similar to Los Angeles, but a lot calmer. And then now also on the aspect of having the good opportunities, the housing was very affordable. So
Mm.
compared to what I was living in Minnesota, it was only $200 more for the house I'm in now compared to the apartment that I was in back then. So I get a lot more bang for my buck here. So that was a decision that me and my wife made, and then so that's how we ended up moving here September 2019, and we've been here ever since and enjoying ourselves and continue to build our family even further. We're married now, so we went here. What we came here for is what we've been able to do.
Wow. Wonderful. Well, welcome to my native Las Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful. I love that you continue to involve your partner, your wife, in your decision making to make sure it works for you and your family. Is that
Yeah.
something you do on a consistent basis?
Yeah, for sure. I always think about what the word says, and I think about what my family needs. So, I try to incorporate that to who I am, because one of my number one job is being a husband and a father. So, and I really take strong pride in being able to be involved. Time isn't promised, but time is one of the most precious things that we have in life. So I have a better perspective now, being older, and I have to really utilize my perspective to make right decisions. So that's why I further went into business as well. I wanted to be involved in my family. I didn't want to miss gymnastics meets on the weekend. I didn't want to miss seeing my children grow up. Our family is growing pretty fast, so I knew I had to make some decisions ahead of time to make sure that I was involved. At the end of the day, there's no rule book to being a parent, and it is it's other fathers and other mothers who are able to be involved and still provide. So I had to figure out a way.
I love that. I love that. And what you're talking to. So I just want to let you know I have an invisible pew right here. You
Yeah,
can't see them. I can't see them. But you're speaking to someone that may want to break out of this maze or this box and say, hey, I want to be able to grow up with my children, meaning go to the after school programs
yes,
or
yes,
support them, like you say, in gymnastics or whatever the case may be. Really control your time. And
yeah.
I feel like you have provided an example for those that may be looking in a different direction. Everybody is not going to be able to, sometime a 9 to 5 works for someone. But
Yep.
I love that you say, hey, this will work for me and my family.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, this business means the world to me because I do have more time with my family. So it's something that I don't play about at all. I'm really intentional about refining and making sure the product is where it needs to be, getting even better every time we come out with a new collection. Just understanding how to market my products, really taking advantage of opportunities to speak on it like this as well, being on a podcast. So it's just I don't play about Sugar Hill Sunset at all.
Well, let's just talk about how I was at the Gospel Fest this
Yeah.
past weekend and
Yep.
I was literally
Great
on my
event.
way out. For me personally, I always like to find one person I can contribute to, not
Yeah.
just because I'm giving it, it's something I really want to
Yeah.
purchase. And on the way in, I saw you. I said, okay, did my thing. And on the
Hmm.
way back, the Spirit led me back your way.
Yeah.
Now, my optics that I saw, I was like, okay, I'm impressed. The setup was clean.
Thank you.
Um, I love how it was very classy.
Yeah.
And what really got my attention, I said, did he just say somebody that loved music? He was like, yeah, the candles come with a QR code for jazz
Yeah.
during the season. I said,
Yeah.
wait, excuse me? Oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
get that just because.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about this, but I just want everyone to see it's just like a beautiful, classy look.
Yeah.
On top of it, I love most people that are selling candles. One thing that stands out about you, you have a candle cover at the
Yeah.
top,
Yep.
which
Yep.
is very classy. It
Hmm.
has some information. It says Sugar Hill Sunset, which is the name.
Yep.
And two things you have the QR code on the back, and you have the description of what it is on the top. Now,
Yeah.
in addition to all of these things that you provided, which I was super impressed, I don't get
Thank you.
impressed easy.
Yeah.
You have an additional QR code and you have a thank you note as well.
Yeah.
I said, wow.
Yeah.
And let me even say, before I even purchased this, I went and I said, oh, can I smell it? Now, you need to tell me how you discover to have the glass with the candle and you
Hmm.
open this glass enclosure and
Yeah.
you really didn't have to scratch the actual candle. The
Yeah.
glass enclosure gave you this beautiful scent.
Yeah.
Tell me, we'll talk about the QR code, but
Yeah.
tell me about how did you develop that process?
Yeah, for sure. So, solving a problem. So we had our first market back in September of last year, and we came home, brought our products home, and we was had our display candles, and one of the candles just smelled horrible. It smelled like it wasn't the same candle, and so something I just came to the conclusion that it must have sucked up the environment. Like the environment must have went into the candle. So I did some research because I do remember someone had a generator going that was next to me, had a generator that was powering what they was providing as well. And the smell was just really strong. It was giving me a headache, and I was just like, oh, I don't like that smell. So I did some research and I was able to find out that, candles soak up the environment. So and also the smell is dispersed into the atmosphere. So while it's sitting out in the air, it's losing its power over time.
Oh,
So, yeah, yeah. So I was able to do some research on how to protect it, and I came across a YouTube video. I came across some articles on how glass cloches, the right size, could enclose that smell and protect it from the environment, but still really empower that candle smell in that particular space. So for a customer, instead of them having to being down to the candle, I really wanted to, for one, have a more elevated image to my space as well. So just seeing the glass was something that was going to be, for one, unique. I didn't see any other candle brands doing that, so I love to be apart from what other people are doing. For one, that's what goes along with the QR code as well, QR Jazz code. But for that, the glass close, I knew that that smell would go to that particular customer. It wouldn't be all out in the air, but when they smelled the candle through the cloche, it would be powerful, it would be intentional, and it would be something that they didn't experience before. And I could serve them in a sense. Instead of them bending down, grabbing the candle, doing it themselves, they could stand up straight, upright, and I provide the glass close right to their face. So it was just more of an elevated experience.
definitely it was an elevated experience. It made me even more once that process began with me. In my head, I was like, I'm buying no matter what.
Yeah,
Because
appreciate that.
because of that, and I was like, wow. In addition to that, your intentional process of marketing.
Yeah,
Again, you could just take the one candle that I showed you and put it in a bag and you're done.
yeah,
Instead of doing that, you actually put it in this beautiful enclosure case
yeah,
that has a just a simple classy tag on that.
yeah.
So what was your push to be as intentional as making sure you have all those little touches to it?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in presentation. And sometimes when you can, we don't like to judge a book by its cover, but we have to come to a conclusion of what we're looking at and what we're seeing. That's just something that we have to do in life. That's just an automatic thing. So I knew that if I'm clean cut, if I'm presentable, if things are put in a well mannered place, you could assume that the candle will be intentional as well, the actual product. So, sometimes you have to get them at hello. You have to get them in that first moment, well before the actual candle was burnt. So, so from seeing our space to seeing how we present ourselves, like I mentioned, you could assume that the candle would be within that same energy, that same intention. So that's how we got to doing it that way.
I love it. I love it. I think it's amazing. Again, it got my attention, and I'm not saying that, but I'm like, okay, I've seen it before. I'll smell some. I had recently, I think 3 months ago, went to an event, and the person had candles, and they did a great job. But this just really took it to the next level.
I appreciate it for
It
sure.
really, it truly did. So before we get back, we're going to come back and talk about your QR code, but we're going to go back and turn the tables and talk about music one more time.
Yeah.
I need you to like think back as a
Hmm.
child
Yeah.
and think back about a particular song or artist you had the opportunity to purchase on your own without anybody influence, whether you had money from birthday, from holidays. You're like,
Hmm.
I'm purchasing this all on my own. Can nobody tell me what to get? Can you
Yeah.
identify a song?
Yeah. How We Do by The Game and 50 Cent. Yeah, so my pops, my mom, they wasn't really into rap music. And I'm about 12 years old, middle school, and had my CD player. Back in the day we had the CD players. So I was able to buy the Game CD, and that was my favorite rapper back then. I was always big on the West Coast. I always loved LA. I loved the Lakers. So everything about Los Angeles, I just wanted to be a part of. So I bought his documentary, the documentary album, and that was my favorite song for throughout middle school, going into high school. That was a song that meant a lot to me.
Can you give us a little bars? Can you think of anything you can
Uh,
give
oh
right
yeah,
now?
yeah. I really don't do too much secular music, but anymore too much. But I will let me think of the lyrics. I'm trying to think of a good spot to not say nothing too too
No, I know
wild in
what
the
you
song.
said.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I really can't. I really don't want to go too deep into those lyrics right now. Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah,
no, I totally respect that. I totally respect that. So let's go and go back to this QR code.
yeah,
What was the impetus of it? Because to me, this
yeah,
takes, yes, the candles look beautiful. Yes, your presentation is very elegant, but it took it to another level to say, hey, I have a QR code that you can tap into some jazz. And I was like, excuse me? And you
yeah.
were like, yeah. So tell me the impetus or the idea that came around doing that.
Yeah, so our brand and our candles are jazz inspired but Harlem Renaissance inspired. So I recognize that the Harlem Renaissance era was a point in time where African Americans were initially, not initially, but one of the first moments of being able to express ourselves through art and culture and through music, dance, literature, different things of that nature. So jazz was one of the genres of music that we were strongly a part of as African Americans in the creation of it. So during that time period, the Harlem Renaissance really exposed jazz in a wide range to the world. So for us, we wanted to do something that was really unique, but was true to who we are as a culture. And our brand really comes with a level of education as well from the Harlem Renaissance. I knew that jazz didn't have a whole lot of strong lyrics. I knew that it was very smooth, and I feel like it matched what we had going on for our brand, and it matched who I was as well as a young man. I'm a very calm, very relaxed, very intentionally smooth guy, so I wanted the product to kind of reflect who I was as well. And then when I thought to myself about how to be unique, how to be set apart compared to other brands, I knew to have a multi-sensory product would be something that people would appreciate because there's multiple levels of the product. There's the presentation, there's there's the music aspect of it, there's the scent. So we just wanted to make sure that we had multiple different ways to appeal to a customer. So having the ambiance, the warmth of a flame, the music, it just really gave it a multi-sensory experience.
I love it. I thought it was wonderful. How long have you been dabbing in or providing the QR codes to customers?
From the very beginning. So it was something that we initially came out with, and it's something that's been a hit for us for the beginning. It's something that really connects with our customers, and it's been a highlight for the business for sure.
Yes.
Yep, yep.
I think I saw on one of your Instagram where somebody came by and was like, hey, I checked out this song or whatever. They were having a conversation with you
Yeah.
about what you've provided. So give me just off the top of your head three maybe jazz songs that you have connected to your QR code that really stands out to your customers.
Yeah. So we update the playlist on the first of every month. So we have songs come in and go out as well. So a song that I really love is Watch Me Play by Wayman Tinsdale. I really love that song. Another song by Wayman Tinsdale was Summer Breeze. I found out that my parents used to play that song back in the day, so that was like, okay, I really love that song. Maybe I love it because I heard it when I was 1, 2 years old. But it was a song. It's a song called "Summer Breeze" by Wayman Tinsdale, and also it's a song called "Warm Weather." I'm not sure who's the artist, but it's a song. I love the warm weather, and it was just something that really like connected with me. I loved what I was hearing. It was it was a African American group, a black group, and there was had some singing in it as well. So it was a smooth song. So those are three songs. So Watch Me Play, Summer Breeze, and Warm Weather. And you can definitely catch those songs on our QR Jazz Code. It's not actually on this month's playlist right now because they wanted to make sure that it was intentional with the seasons. Obviously, Summer Breeze, Warm Weather is not the season right now, but I got those songs on stash for when it warms up for sure.
Nice. So do you go through like a process by yourself or with your wife to curate this
Yeah.
like list to do you
Yeah.
listen to it and kind of set the vibes and intentions that, oh, I like this connects to this, or you just kind of randomly pick?
No, it's all everything is intentional. So I would say about the 25th of every month, a little earlier this month since we only got 28 days. But but around the 25th, what I do is I start going through different playlists. I go through my own different playlists as well. So what I do is every month on my personal phone, I just add a bunch of songs that I like, that I just kind of connect with me, and then I go through those songs that I put in that list and really try to figure out which ones really match for the playlist. So I do like a drafting process. I draft different songs from other playlists that I found online. Sometimes it's an artist that I really love, and I just go through all their albums and really just kind of like, try to find a gem that's in there somewhere. And I just add it to February's playlist, and that will be in my personal phone. And then I'll just, like I said, I'll go through, I will listen to it for about 3 to 4 days and just kind of get an idea. Okay, what about 15 to 20 songs I can bring in, and then I'll go into my actual QR Jazz Code playlist, the Sugar Hill Jazz playlist, and I decide, okay, what songs been here for a little while, which songs, I don't love as much as some of the other ones, and then I take those out. And I do the same thing for Spotify and Apple Music. I just have a process that I do every month of really making sure that QR Jazz Code is curated, and I like to make sure that it matches the season. So right now a lot of the songs are very loving. It's very intimate songs that are very slower compared to during the Christmas time. I had some Christmas jazz, and like I mentioned as well, when the weather is warmer, we have more summer breeze type of songs, warm weather. So everything that we do is looking to be intentional.
Not looking, it is. It's definitely,
Yeah.
I love how you even describe how you draft it. It's something similar to what I do when I have ideas. I'll just kind of, I call it a brain dump. I'll just kind of
Hmm.
put on my phone, okay, this. And then when I have the time to actually sit down, then I'll start to see what works for me. So it
Yeah.
sounds like we work in similar process. When's
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
birthday?
November 24th.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But I love that. And then from there, I have something that I can kind of bite my teeth off, bite my teeth on and work through. So I love that
Hmm.
process.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I appreciate it.
So let's go back and talk about, we never stop talking about music, but we're going to talk about a
Hmm.
different form of music. Can you, sir, identify a song that you were singing all your life? I mean, you was getting it, and then one day, it was like, wait 1 minute, I've been singing this song all this time, and I finally realized what it's all about. Can you
Yeah.
identify a song?
Yeah. Never Felt This Way by Brian McKnight. Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a backstory for that as well. So the backstory to that song is I'm a huge Martin fan. I love Martin. I grew up. My parents taped all the episodes of Martin back in the '90s, and I would go to the VCR. I would put a tape in. It would say Martin '93, Martin '95 on it, or whatever year the season was. And I would it was an episode where Martin proposed to Gina, and Brian McKnight came out and he sung in the background for them in a special moment. And as a young kid, I would say 5, 6 years old, I would rewind that specific part over and over again, just sing it and just sing it and just sing it. I just absolutely love the song. And as I got older, it touches me even more because it's a wedding song. And now being a married man and understanding the value of that love and that special of a moment that Gina and Martin was having, it's always meant something to me. So that's a powerful song that I've always loved. I always loved to sing as a kid.
Oh, and can you name the song again just for my audience?
Yeah, yeah. Never Felt This Way by Brian McKnight.
Wow. Oh, that's so
Hmm.
beautiful. I love
Yeah,
how you can, at 5 years old, you
yeah.
were so drawn to that song and you still remember that to this day.
Yeah. And even my son, he when that part comes up, he watch Martin with me sometimes, just to, to give him some old school vibes or whatever. Uh, he attracts to that same part as well. So that touches me because
Wow.
he loves to sing, and I can tell that he's into music as well. So
Oh, well, you got to continue to cultivate that energy.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
For sure. Yep.
oh. Well, one thing that was very apparent, of course, you had already mentioned it about the Harlem Renaissance. Also, in connection, from my perspective, the name Sugar Hill. Did
Hmm.
that also because it's a place in Manhattan, a very affluent residential
Yeah.
neighborhood that's
Yeah.
called Sugar Hill? Is this
Yeah.
my conclusion? Is it correct?
Very correct. Yes. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
give me some.
Yeah, everything's intentional. Yep.
So give me some background with that. What made you choose? Because I love the name Sugar Hill. It was this movie years ago, and I think the name of it was Sugar Hill, but Sugar
Yep.
Hill Sunset. I was like,
Yeah.
I like that, and it just made me think about that. So tell me that thought process behind that.
Yeah, so Sugar Hill was a neighborhood that you know of, that was known to house African American entertainers, and it was known for one of the first neighborhoods of Black wealth. And that's something that we're trying to build within our family is Black wealth with our home, and let it be something that's generational that we'll pass down from our children to our grandchildren that we started. So that initial Sugar Hill neighborhood of Black wealth was something that what was imperative to that community, and setting up families of African American families for generations. And then the sunset aspect of it is just making it through the day into a point of seeing the sunset and being able to wind down. That's the ultimate goal. It's just, every day we go out into this world and there's so many different distractions, different things going on, different dangers, and different things that we have to pray about. And ultimately, we just want to make it home to our children, make it home to our significant others at the sunset, and just wind down and with a candle for
I
sure.
love it. Okay, come on, put it in there. He
Yeah.
said with a candle. Wow. So, how long have you been selling your candles?
So selling the candles ever since August of 2025. So not extremely long, but we've been in development of we've been in business and developing this brand and these products since January of 2025. So we took 9 months to really develop, learn, study, do a whole lot of testing to really get our product to a point of comfortability to bring it out. We didn't want to be too much a perfectionist in that early on because I'm a perfectionist, and we still wouldn't have put out the candle if if I would have leaned into being that way. But at some point, we got it to a comfortable space where we can bring it out to the community. It hasn't always been perfect, but I've always what I do is every 3 months we bring out a new collection, and in the midst of bringing out those new collections, I'm always working on refining the product and bringing and testing different ways to make the candles stronger, better, safer, just a better experience. So since then, we've done some different refinements where customers being able to enjoy the candle even more, and it's something that we're proud of. We're proud of being able to create something that people enjoy and want to come back and grab again. Return customers means so much to us because we know that on the presentation side that we can get someone to buy a candle. But to get someone to return and get another candle, that means they was able to enjoy their experience. So it's different levels to what we look at as far as success in our business, and that's one of the ultimate ways of gauging ourselves in success is a return customer.
I know that's right. That is absolutely true. That takes out all the fluff. If you really
Yeah.
liked it, you're going to come back and purchase
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So, with you and your wife, and I'm going to post this question to you because you're interviewing.
Yeah.
What is your dynamic to shut it down and have some self time? Do you include self time? Because we know an entrepreneur may, yes, I work a 9 to 5, but after those 9 to 5 hours, I may do other things. Entrepreneur can sometimes be
Yeah.
15 hours in a day. It
Yeah.
all depends. How do you regulate your mind, body, and soul, and to make sure you're still available and present for your family?
Yeah, it's still a challenge. It's something that I'm still working on as a young entrepreneur, and the success of the business obviously calls for more of my attention as well. This is something that's been is right now is the lead provider in our finances, our candles. So being a father and making sure that I'm providing, I have to make sure that I'm giving incredible energy to what's going to keep the roof over our heads and going to continue to put us in a comfortable space. But at the same time, I have to make sure that I'm really being intentional about loving my family and having time where I can reflect and just not be just all about the candles and the business. So we do have moments where I like to have a rest days. The Lord commands us to have a rest day as well, to observe our Sabbath. So I'm trying my best to get better at that because it's something I could be working on every day. So I try to, at some point, do double the work on some particular days, and then have a day where I'm with the children, and I'm going to take them to the park, taking my daughter to open gym, and really doing, working with her personally. And then when we have gymnastics, when she has meets, we have family days, those days as well. And then for my wife, she works pretty late. She works from home, but she gets off about 1 in the morning. So a lot of times when the kids are asleep and she's finally off of work about 1 o'clock in the morning, we're up really late. But we try to watch something and spend some time together. About
Good.
2 in the morning. 3 in the morning sometimes. But that's our schedule right now, and that's how we're able to continue to go forward.
I love it. I think that is so important no matter what we do, is to be intentional about the ones we love and really want to spend some time. Because when you're on a new project or you're doing new things, you can get so lost in the ideas, which are really
Yeah,
great, but you still have to be able to tap into the people that are around you that are loving you. So
yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
that you shared that, and this may encourage someone else to say, okay, I need to pump my brakes a little. I can still move forward, but I got to make sure I take care of those people because, sometimes those road to riches can be great, but when you get there, you're by yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think to be intentional and make sure you have someone that can be a part of these wonderful moments and to share your riches with them.
yep, yep.
So
For sure, yeah. I appreciate my wife dearly. She keeps everything going, in a lot of different ways. So I
awesome.
appreciate her. Yeah.
So, how many children do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, yeah. We have three that's here, and then we have a fourth child that's in development right now. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. The
Yes.
baby will be here in June, so we're excited about that, preparing for that as well, making sure we got everything lined up for her to come into a comfortable space, a loving home.
Congratulations to you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
And may I ask, what's the age range of your children?
Yep. So Riley, our oldest, she helps out with the business. She's 9 years old. Junior, his name is Shane Junior. He's 2 years old. And then we have Harlem. She's 9 months. And then we have Aria, who's be here in June.
Oh, wow. Mama is
Yeah,
busy and
busy.
daddy is busy too.
Yeah, yeah,
I love it. Wow. Well, you know what? As long as you guys continue to take care of each other,
yeah,
all
yeah,
is well.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So let's talk about hard times. We talked
Okay.
a little bit about that, but hard
Mm-hmm.
times, it does not discriminate. I can have it, you can have it. Everybody has experienced that road of hard times.
Mm-hmm.
Can you provide a song that when your spirit is a little low or is real low, and this
Mm-hmm.
song has lifted up, it has taken you to the next level where you were before? It
Yeah.
said, okay, I can do this. Can you provide a song?
Yeah. A song called "Return of the Mac."
Oh, wait
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
minute!
that's so when I was younger, especially during my 20s when I was doing music, it was one of those songs that just really uplifts my spirit. I can always jam to it. I just felt like it was an appropriate song for uplifting my spirit, not, specifically return of a Mac, but just returning to who I am and just getting into a good space and locking in and doing what I needed to do, whether that was getting ready to perform or write music or whatever I had going on at that time. And even today, I don't listen listen to that song pretty much too much anymore. But I, when I do hear it, I jam to it for sure. But it's not something that I like just turn on. But it's always a song that it comes right out, and he's singing from the soul, and it's just something that touches me for sure.
I love that. Like you done brought back memories. When I get off, I'm gonna play that Return of the Mac. And
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, that's one of our brothers from overseas.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So, wow, I wasn't expecting that from you, but that's
Yeah.
why you say you don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. For sure.
So, I know we talked about Sunset Market, we talked about Harlem Renaissance. Was the Harlem Renaissance something that you studied in school?
Yeah.
What, and was that to make your deep dive to say, I really am attracted to this process? You did talk about the ability, how creative we were during this time, but what
Yeah.
was the first trigger to say, I want to be attracted to this?
Yeah. It was. I did a paper over it in college. So when I was in college a little while ago, I was able to really be educated on what that time and that era provided for where we are today. I'm big on inspiration. So a lot of times that you think the Harlem Renaissance was only 100 years ago. That was the 1920s. So I understood it as being one of the first moments where we can express ourselves through art and culture, and from there, different people were inspired from Motown, and then you got people that comes in, from Michael Jackson, and then that inspires people like Chris Brown, so I was able to understand that a lot of people from all across the world, they watch what we do, they're inspired by what we do. And I feel like it's important for people to have a education of where that really started, and I understand that we do have roots past that point as well, but that was a pivotal point in history where the 1920s was around the Great Depression era, but we wasn't doing as bad as it seemed, right? So I,
Yes.
I thought it was important that people had an understanding on what African Americans was bringing to the world through expressing ourselves, through our literature, through our dance, through our sound, through who we are. Because because before then, our commonality was our struggle. We was coming from the South, where we worked in a different way. Even after slavery, we were still not treated as well in the South, and different forms of discrimination. So being able to migrate north in the different cities that we did, New York was a place where we really got to express ourselves in a fun way, in a happy way, in a joyful way. So I wanted to make sure that people had an understanding of when that started and what initiated a lot of what we have going on today.
And I'm glad you said that. I think a lot of people draw their connection to the Harlem Renaissance, even though it may not be Harlem Nights, a
Mhm.
lot of that, but they really don't go deep dive into the art, literature,
Literature.
all those things you talked about. Because I think Langston Hughes
Yeah.
made a pivotal point on that. And it just goes on and on. Even hairdos for ladies that lady later was adopted by Caucasian women,
Yeah.
and it was originated with the women that look like me.
Yeah. For
So,
sure.
so I
Yeah.
think we've always been at the forefront of creation, and I
Yeah.
think we will always be that. I just think that what has been going on now, that the real story has not been told, meaning things have been hidden in plain sight. And
For
I
sure.
think in this time frame, things are coming forth and everybody has opened their mouth, even the ones that said, no, I created this, I did this. Like, for example, Betty Boop.
Yeah.
So many years people have taken credit for it, and it was really a caricature based off a black woman, but for many years nobody knew that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you know and they, and another aspect as well that I like to add is they're taking a lot of the contributions in our African American history out of school books. So I knew that with them taking what we do out of the school books and the text, it won't be a reverence for who we are with the younger generation. So that's why it's important with Sugar Hill Sunset that we provide some level of education and ability to learn, not just have a channel, not just have a product, but learn something about American history,
Yes.
and that's us for sure.
And what better way to do it from a sensory of smell and hearing? You
Yeah,
that I'm hooked.
yeah,
And to be able to relax again, we'll go to the sunset. Like, come
yeah,
on now.
yeah, yep.
Like, you got me on that. So I love that you guys again are very intentional on what you do and how you do it, and please continue down that road
For sure.
because it's showing who you guys are for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate it.
So before we get out of here, I do have one more question, but if my audience or someone that sees this maybe 3 weeks from now, a year from now, they want to tap in and
Yeah,
find out who you are, can you provide all of your information so they
yeah,
can purchase one of these beautiful smelling um, candles? Whew, it just makes
yeah.
me smile.
Yeah. Yep. So first, our website is www.sugarhillsunset.com, where you can find that's our website where you can find all of our products, get descriptions on our products, and find out more about who we are as well as a brand and as a family business. So that's our first initial place of business is our website, and then also you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sugar Hill Sunset, just simply at Sugar Hill Sunset. On those platforms, you get to see the candle making process, the different experiences at markets that we go through, our learning process. Sometimes we're able to be transparent about where we are in business and what we're working through and working towards, our celebrations and our wins. So that's something that we like to provide on those platforms. And also in the community, we do local farmers markets in Las Vegas, Henderson area every week. We have a regular schedule where we're at Bruce Trent Park in on Wednesdays. Thursdays we're in Green Valley Ranch in Henderson area. Saturdays we do Inspirada Southern Highlands in the Henderson area, and then Sundays we do Uncommons. Some Sundays, and then some Sundays we're at St. Rose in Henderson, Nevada. So we're all over the community, and also we do special events where people book us. Like the Gospel Fest was a really great moment for us, a great event. So we're open to be booked for as a vendor for multiple different occasions. So that's where you can find us in person. And also, like I said, get some of our background story from our Instagram and TikTok page, and see all of our products and get some descriptions on our website.
I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
And before we get out of here, as I mentioned, I do have one more question surrounding music to you.
Hmm. Yep.
This season is about discovering you. We all have to have a point where we get to discover our likes, our dislikes, and we discard what doesn't work for us.
Hmm.
Can you identify a song that you can dedicate to the world that you have discovered about yourself?
Yeah, it's a song by D'Angelo called "I Found My Smile Again." Yep. And some background to that as well is, really finding myself deeper with the Lord. I've been able to find joy in having a relationship with Christ and being able to really put him in the forefront of what I'm doing. I know when I was young, I felt that, being a Christian man, a committed Christian man was boring. When I was young, I thought that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do this. And I understand that perspective as a young man, but at the same time, I understand so much more differently, and I have a different perspective on my relationship with the Lord. So being able to really find my smile again in a different way with being a husband, having a full family now that I'm providing for, I feel so much more fulfilled in my life, being able to be a man of God, a father, a husband, and being an entrepreneur as well. Being having control of my time. I'm just in a really good space as a young man through all the different things that I've experienced and been through, different hardship, different loss in my life. I'm in a good space where I find my smile again.
I love that. Oh, that is wonderful. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. I thank you, thank you, thank
I
you.
thank you.
Before we get out of here, I do want to talk about the journey and the destination. The journey is where we learn and where we grow. The destination is where we celebrate. Far too
Yeah.
often we're working, 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 and we're not celebrating. We have to
Yeah.
celebrate so we can feel good about what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, we got to get back into that journey so we can continue to learn, continue to grow, continue to elevate.
Hmm.
I say all of that when I have my women on, I bow to them, but when I have my men on, I salute them. So, sir, I salute
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Salute to you as well.
And I always give my guests last words. So, last words go to you before we get out of here.
I want to thank God for everything that I'm able to go through, hardships, celebration moments, and I just want to, really give credit to Him for all things. Through Him, all things are possible, and He gives me the strength to continue to go forward every day that He wakes me up. I'm just truly blessed, and I want to thank you as well. I want to, give my blessings to your platform and much success to your platform. The Lord and the Spirit definitely brought you to me, so we can have this moment. It means a lot to me. I will remember this moment and continue to grow our business relationship as well. And just shout out to you. You're doing great work, and much love to what you have going on, and much success.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. You guys, please, please put your hands together. And Mr. Shane
Yeah. Thank you. I
Hodges
appreciate it.
are not welcome to
Yeah. Yeah.
sunset you out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as I say to
Thank
all
you.
my guests, I'll see you out here in these Las Vegas streets.
Joe will.